Well, hello everyone, Philosopher Stoner 666 here. So, it's late now, and I'm in the shower. I'm gonna have a shower. I'm gonna make a quick video. Let's see, subject of vegetarianism. So my mom passed, and very strange woman. When I was younger, she was a total carnivore. She liked her steaks rare, practically with the blood dripping out of them, and we ate a lot of meat. I've eaten meat by the truckload in my lifetime. Only 26, going on 27. Lots of meat. I remember at a young age, at the age of 7 years old, going to this place called the St. Lawrence Market. They had all these big things of meat, the meat rib cages for cows and shit. It's like a traditional kind of market, butcher shops, but very traditional, not like a supermarket where it's a place where you could actually see the animals get killed, the cages. And I remember like being slightly disturbed about this and talking to my mom about not eating meat, being vegetarian. So for about a 2 week period, we tried, the veggie ham, the veggie hot dogs, and they were shit. And my mom nipped it in the bud. My dad was more supportive of it. My dad told a story about when he lived in Saskatchewan, he had this baby cow, so what they would use to make veal. And he had developed the sensitivity, or thought he developed a sensitivity or friendship with this animal. And eventually they sold, on that farm he was on, they sold that cow to the glue factory, meat factory, and he never saw it again, and it made him upset. So he could never eat veal. He could eat all the other meat, no problem, but he couldn't eat veal out of a sentimental attachment. So he was more open, receptive to the idea. As odd as that sounds, like not eating veal, but eating other kinds of meat. Now, anyway, whatever. So it didn't work out, nipped in the bud. And before my mother's death, last 2 weeks she was alive, she was lamenting to me, that she started to embrace the whole Buddhism, Hinduism thing, and lamented that eating meat was wrong, but she couldn't do it because she was addicted. So on all fronts here, there was a sensibility deep down that there was something wrong about it. Now, central arguments for vegetarianism to me are just an acute awareness of death, and that acute awareness of death will lead towards a greater sensitivity towards life. You can think of yourself as being a friend with an animal, even though they're not really our friends. There can be a moral progress, but it's slow and it's shunned in our society. I've been trying to go, and I cannot be a holier than thou about it, or even really think that I'm making much of a difference. The thing is, it's a spiritual thing. But the central arguments, there's no real argument against vegetarianism that makes any sense to me. So first off, cost. Meat is getting more expensive. It's causing a lot of the climate change problems that we have with all the methane that's produced. There's so many animals, billions of animals. If you add up all the chickens, cows, pigs, whatever that we butcher, 7 billion people, too many of them, costs a lot. We use a lot of antibiotics, and us humans, we're developing antibiotic resistance due to all the antibiotics we use in meat. So the meat price is going up. It's expensive. It's expensive in a lot of ways. Not just the financial cost, not just the farming cost, the antibiotic cost, but the cost for the life, the suffering of the animal, the shipping, the distribution, everything. It's bad for your health, proven. If you quit eating meat, you'll most likely live longer. We don't really need it, although we do need to use animal products. Like, I cannot do vegan out of personal limitations, right? And ultimately, people like vegans, vegetarians, we have to put the blinders on for other things like, cell phones that are made with child labor, let's say, or whatever. And fundamentally, we're not really making a real difference in the world, but it's a spiritual thing. It's a recognition of, even if I don't do it out of love. I do it for practical reasons, that I don't need the hassle and it's too expensive. We don't do it out of love for the animal, but you can recognize that Same thing with humans, that we deliberate, any animal in existence now, same with a human being, is fucked. There's no grace period. There's no grace period. There's no exemption for currently living things. They're fucked anyway. So anything alive now as is, kill it. But it's about breaking the cycle. So deliberately breeding animals for meat, deliberately, is stupid. We could just turn off the tap. We could just stop them from breeding very easily. But why do we do it? Why do we continue to do it? Because we cannot admit that we're addicted. We're addicted. We're addicted to the 5-10 minutes of gratification. And believe me, I know this very well. It's very satisfying to have a smoked meat sandwich or a hamburger or a whatever. We're addicted to it. It brings us comfort and pleasure. But it's an inefficient comfort and pleasure, because you have to basically torture a sentient being for a lifetime to get 5-10 minutes of gratification. So to me, on any level, the scales don't balance. But like I said, I cannot be holier than thou. I cannot be virtuous. I remember as a kid being in a volunteer program, where most of the participants were vegetarian, and I picked the wrong team. So I've been an asshole, right? But seeing that, yeah, even breeder people and other people, you can slowly get this sensitivity once you're near the end, or once you go through hardship. You can see, oh yeah, if life is really precious, it should be treated with a certain sensitivity. This is just a real sensitivity in a very insensitive world. I had a real appreciation for life and others didn't. And this is what's made me nihilist misanthrope.